Hello everyone, this is Josh X Play Place, and today we continue to grow and expand our city of New Austin in this episode 11. And really, we are gonna focus on fixing that highway and that intersection that I think it's gonna make me go crazy if we don't get it fixed by the end of this episode. That's gonna be our main focus. So, let's begin. As we recall from our last episode, we were able to upgrade this expressway and it looks nice, it looks well enough, it's working really well. I think our only problem is this intersection. It's very busy, there's a lot of traffic, and so we need to figure out a way to make that work, to make this intersection work. I feel like the only way we can make this work a little bit better might be to create two roundabouts, one here and one here. And that's gonna allow this traffic to go a little bit better without doing anything else. Because I think that otherwise all of this looks really nice. We still need to fix this. Again, I'm not gonna worry about it right now. I just really don't like it. I honestly I don't think it looks good or anything, but that's something that's not bothering us. It's working well. It's doing what it's supposed to be doing. So again, we're fine. What is bothering me is this. We are gonna have to dezone and destroy some of this. For example, I think we might have to actually delete this road and these two roads, as well as this, and maybe just one or two houses here. So it's not gonna be as bad. I do wish that city builders, I think that SimCity did it just very in a very small way, that if you bulldoze a building that shouldn't have been bulldozed otherwise, and I do mean something that's growing, something that grew, that the happiness would be diminished in the area, especially because we're gonna do infinite domain for all of these places here. But otherwise, I think it's working really well. So let me pause the game and let me get started. Well, it seems that we were somewhat able to redistribute the traffic, and so maybe what we can do here is delete this road, since I don't think, yeah, there's no buses here. So let's delete this road, and maybe in here it should be a nice large roundabout. So let me work on it real quick. I think the last thing that I'm gonna do is, yes, upgrade these roads to be one-way streets, and I think that's gonna change how things work also a little bit better. Let me do it. I think we were finally successful to upgrade this into an expressway all the way here. I think in the very near future we're gonna change this to be all elevated, and we can put the walkway underneath it. So traffic is manageable, control, at least for right now. As you can see, everything's flowing well. We will have to upgrade these roads, maybe not right now, but we will have to. And as far as these open spaces, I'm gonna just continue this little district, and let me rezone this, and hopefully it will grow. And same thing with this. I'm just gonna continue this all the way here. And also let me go and rezone what we were missing here. And we should be fine for right now. I think the last thing that I'm gonna do is to upgrade these roads to the bicycle lane, because for some reason these roads look very weird. I know it's more to go with this one, but it looks very, very weird. Later on we can detail this a little bit more. I think what I'm gonna do is just to put a fence and just have some more trees in here. But again, I think we managed to do something really, really nice. It's traffic, it's flowing well. Of course, there's always gonna be traffic, there's always gonna be cars, like I told you. You might have designed your city the best way possible, but the game doesn't care in the end. It's just gonna do whatever it has to deliver the goods. Basically, the more people, the more goods that are needed. So there's two things that we need to address, and the first one is the high demand for industry or office. And I think, seeing how there's really not that much of anything here, I'm just gonna add this here, and this should help us just a little bit. And while we were doing the building or the upgrade of this road, we increased the level of this area, so now we have a couple more things to plop. Let's take a look at them, and we will be able to get the medium or mine. Let's put one of those, 2 and 3, and these are the ones that I actually wanted for the machinery. I love the machinery, so let's take a look at it. These look really, really nice, and we have an abundance of products, so we need to do something with those raw materials that we are not using. So let's plop down some more. Maybe we can do factories or whatever is available as an option. In this case, we have the ore grinding mill, which we have one here. And we also have the glass manufacturing plant, the rotary kiln plant that also creates metal, and this one glass. So let's plop maybe, oh, these are big ones, maybe 1 and 2, and hopefully we can get all this raw material in here very, very soon. And I think the last thing that I'm gonna plop in here is this big ore storage, and that way we have enough, hopefully, material here for these blocks. So our industry needs continue being high, and that is a great thing. So what I'm gonna do is I am gonna continue the road here, and I am gonna zone these two, making sure yeah, we did have water. But in this case, I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna make this a district, a zone, and we're gonna have some policies that we are gonna enact from city planning, and we're gonna read them here. The first is Industry 4.0, and some people might have noticed this, some people might have just completely overlooked. And it says the new technologies alter the nature of the industry workforce. These are basically better for well and highly educated citizens, which means that people that are more educated will still be able to find a job in this industry area. So let's check that. And we're also gonna do workers union and filter industrial waste. So hopefully there's less pollution. So it's gonna be like these really nice, fancier factories, hopefully. And what I also wanna do is I'm gonna move this maintenance road depot, and I'm gonna put it here. I'm gonna delete this road, and I am gonna put a unique building, but one of these ones that is really about the more industry, and I think this one is gonna be great. We can also put this one. We have the research center, we have the robotics institute, we have the semiconductor plant, we have the software development, and this one I'm going to put somewhere else, and we have the space shuttle launch site, and this one we're not going to put because we have the other one that's a little bit better. But in here, maybe, yeah, we can do this one, and we are gonna put another road here, a walking pathway, and we are gonna fill this with parking lots. And as you can see, this looks really, really nice, and hopefully it will raise the value for these ones on here. And I think we should be able to plop down some offices on this side. I think that's gonna work really, really well. And also thinking of what else we can put in here. So for now, our demand for industry is going down, so we're doing well. And I think that overall we are fine in terms of traffic. Of course, like I've mentioned before, there's always going to be traffic, and there's no way you can avoid that. Let me just move this to the other side, because that is creating traffic here, and this one here. I'm just going to leave that one there. And yeah, those are fine for now. And that should be clearing up traffic just a little bit. It did. So this thing that's backing up is shouldn't continue to back up. And I am gonna put a stop sign here. There's a lot of traffic there, which is a little bit, oh, there's already a stop sign. which is very interesting. I'm also gonna put a stop sign here. And I think the fact that there's a lot of people walking, I think that's one of the biggest issues. And I really wish there were some pedestrian walkways that we can put on top of the street and not actually have to build one and demolish a lot of stuff. That would help. I think also that not having pedestrian crossings is gonna help a lot in city skylines too. I know there's mods for that, but in this case, I do think that that's gonna be great. Traffic is already backing up again, and so we might need to reconsider this as to what we can do. And I think the first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna still move this a little bit further, because I think that's kind of some of the problem. And what I'm gonna do is to, let me just make sure, I am gonna change the streets to one-way streets, just these two. This is gonna go this way and this is gonna go that way. A lot of the times it helps, sometimes it doesn't, so it just depends how traffic behaves. And we might need, and so it should help with having traffic not wanting to cross here, which means that this is gonna go faster, which means that this is gonna go a lot faster. So let's wait and see. And so I think there's one more thing that I want to try, and it might be a little bit of a crazy idea, but let me just pause the game really quick. Since I think the problem is that this road is getting priority instead of this, maybe that's gonna affect. So let's see how that goes. I'm also gonna change this to a two-lane road, and this one too. Let's see how that affects things. So traffic is still an issue here, and that's gonna make us go crazier and crazier, and it's backing up a lot. So now it's time to take other steps into this. So I think the first one that I'm gonna do is put this like this, and I think hopefully things can work a little bit better. And I think they are gonna prefer to go here rather than here. And let me just pause this real quick. I think maybe what we should do is to create another exit ramp here. Let's just put this as it was, nothing that crazy. And let's see what we can do with this, road. I don't know if it's gonna work or not. The only other thing that I can think of is to, at least for right now, not to worry about these two exits. And that's what I'm gonna do, at least with this one, because this is the issue, it's not anything else. So maybe that can help us just a little in our quest to make this thing work. And one of the things that you might say is that there's not that many roundabouts in Texas, and you are correct. And I think I know what else we should have done, but we're gonna do it right now. And yes, that's correct, we don't have that many roundabouts here in Texas, but the ones that we have, I think they work okay. And I think, yeah, this is gonna work great. So first of all, the first thing that we should have done is to increase this to a 2-lane one-way road, and I think that was gonna help. I think also what was messing up our exit is the node being too close to the other one, and I think that's gonna fix our problem for right now. Again, it's tricky, and spoiler alert, we might end up doing something else here. As our city grows, we are gonna use our eminent domain power to tear down some of these houses, and to, spoiler alert again, to create yet another expressway here, because I think that's what's actually needed here. So as you can imagine, let me slow down, we don't need for this to go fast. As you can imagine, we're gonna have to put something like this, and that's gonna be an interesting challenge to have, because you're gonna have to demolish a lot of stuff here, especially in the near future. But for now, it's fixed. I think we should do something like that here, but we're not really like that. You know, nothing is perfect, and this place is not perfect either. What I am gonna do is I am gonna build a fire station here and a police station here, 2 of the big ones, and I'm gonna change the vehicles to random. Same thing here to random. That way we have better coverage for this. And in here I might wanna build some of the helicopter depots for this, but I think that's just gonna be okay for now. And we have one more thing that we need to figure out, which is where to put more zoning for industries, and I think this is gonna be the perfect place. We're just gonna continue with this. There's there's a good connection here, so I think there shouldn't be an issue as to why we cannot continue our industrial areas here. So I think that's gonna be great. We can demolish this already, these power lines, that at least these ones that we don't need. Everything is getting power, so we should be fine. And as always, we kind of forgot to do this, but let's look at our electricity. We're gonna need more electricity, but I think that at least for now it's gonna be okay. I think we can build another one either here or here, another solar power plant. In terms of water, also we're doing well, except I think I'm gonna add another sewage treatment plant, but the bigger one, which was already there and we deleted, and I think that should be fine for what we're doing. In terms of garbage, we're doing well. Same thing for education, but I think university is what we are gonna tackle in our next episode, and I think that we are very, very close to reaching capital city, so that's what I'm trying to wait for to happen. And so let's do something to help that getting accomplished. And the first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw a walkway here, and that can be sort of our limit for these roads that I think we should be okay to lengthen a little bit. I don't think there should be an issue with that. Then let's show this, do it again. There you go. Making sure that there's water, and I'm just gonna zone a little bit more residential here. And continue our walkway here. This one can go underneath. And yeah, I think we should be fine with this. There you go. Everybody's gonna be able to cross this pedestrian bridge, which is used a lot and also this, which makes a lot of sense. And I think what we can do in the very near future is to create a pedestrian office zone here. I think it's gonna be really really nice, but we kind of forgot to continue our zoning of industrial this side, so that's what we're gonna do just right now. So we're gonna zone this and this, and that should work really really nice. Let's see where else we can put the road maintenance. I think we're fine for right now. Maybe in the near future we can do one here. I think it's gonna be okay. We also might want to start, or we might want to build the park maintenance building, and I do think that's gonna work really well here. So that's gonna help us a lot. And there are still two types of parks that we need to put down, and this one is the zoo, which I think I'm gonna wait, and I kinda want to put it in here or in here because there's just one building that goes by the water, and we also have the nature reserve, or the uh, park, the state park. That's what I like to call it. We can do one here whenever we are able to open the other square, because I think that's gonna be really really nice. And I think the other one would be here. I think it's gonna work really really well, because I don't think there's that many other places where we can do that. But again, there's no rush with it. What I'm gonna do at this moment, we're gonna do, and apparently there's no water, of course, we forgot to add water here, is to see where we can plop down more unique buildings. And maybe we can do plop one of these here. Might be a nice thing to have. Maybe here. And I think that's gonna help also with the happiness. And maybe we can do the nanotechnology center here. I think that's also gonna be really really nice. And as we can see, traffic is flowing a lot better, and that's even when we haven't upgraded these roads to the 4-lane roads. But again, these streets are gonna be completely used, so there's no point in worrying for this being red. We do have to change it. I mean, believe it or not, I think I said it the other day, there's a road there's an intersection, a huge intersection in Dallas for Highway 75 and Interstate Highway 635 that took a lot of years to build, and that's still getting worked on. So don't think that just because you do something to one of your highways you're done. That's just the beginning. But so have that in mind, in case you think that once you set it you can forget it. Yeah, that's not how things work, especially in real cities. And so the last thing that I do want to do is start thinking as to how we're gonna work with this. And I think the first thing that I'm gonna do is just update this really quick and start working on how we are gonna use these, how we're gonna change these. So let me work on it and we'll be back. So I like what we finish up with in here. I think that it's working really, really well, and it looks really cool. And of course, we have to replicate this maybe a couple more times, maybe like 10, 15 more times. And before we finish this episode, I think what I'm gonna do is to add a couple more blocks of office space here, and it's just gonna be maybe just regular office space. It's gonna be on this side, so let me work on it really quick. And well, we finally arrived to Capital City. Our city is growing really well. We are expanding it a lot. We were able to finish this really nice subdivision here. We were able to make this highway work a little bit better. It's still gonna have to be fixed in the near future whenever we change this roundabout intersection that I don't like. But otherwise, we were able to work with it really, really well. Things are flowing nicely. Of course, it's a more trafficked city. There's going to be a lot more people, a lot more cars, so that's a normal in every city. These people are not enough services. There's one there. But yes, we'll fix this later on. And so I think we're gonna be done for today. We got to our next milestone, which is Capital City, which opens yet a new area. We have ships, and we have some more cool stuff to play with. On the next episode, we are gonna start building a university. We are also gonna be building a stadium for one of the sports. I think it's gonna be football. And we are also gonna be able to buy another tile, and that's gonna be an interesting decision to make because I still don't know which one to pick. But again, that's gonna be on the next episode. As always, I want to thank you for watching, liking this video, commenting, and subscribing to this channel. Until next time, thank you.